I honestly forgot how dark It Takes Two can be. Under all the beautiful graphics and incredible level design are pockets of some pretty twisted stuff. And I'm not talking about the game's representation of a child struggling to navigate her parents' impending divorce. I'm talking about things like a battle where you force a boss to vacuum their eyeballs out of their sockets, and the brutal dismemberment of your daughter's favorite toy while it begs you not to push it off the dresser like Scar did to Mufasa. It's dark. But not to worry, because you get to experience it all with a friend. Not only do you get to play it with a friend, you have to. You literally don't have the option to play this game alone. But that actually works in its favor, because It Takes Two allows you to partner up as Cody and May to overcome various puzzles and obstacles using the power of collaboration. You may be asking yourself, why should I care about collaboration? Well,
Collaboration is the key to a successful relationship, huh? Collaboration! You understand?
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Hakim. As intrusive as he is right. Collaboration can help you build stronger relationships, but there's so much more to it. And while the jury is still out on how effective Dr. Hakim is at being a therapist, what I am certain of is how playing a game like It Takes Two can show you the value of collaboration and help you learn what it takes to collaborate with others. This is what I learned playing It Takes Two. If you ask someone besides Dr. Hakim what collaboration is, they would probably say something along the lines of the act of two or more people working together to achieve a goal. Which is true. Gold star for them. But it isn't as simple as that, because collaboration isn't a single act. It's a choice, and it requires a string of consistent actions and behaviors between people to build trust and enable success. That's what Dr. Hakim is trying to show May and Cody throughout the game by putting them in challenging situations where they must collaborate. No longer can they think only of themselves. They must work together and learn to trust each other again in order to escape their toy bodies. And while they don't initially see it, they slowly start to recognize how valuable collaboration truly is. May and Cody get to learn the value of collaboration through the story content. But we as the actual players get to experience the value of collaboration in real time as we problem solve with our co-op partner. Having someone else along for the ride makes this game so much better, because when your partner experiences the craziness of a militaristic squirrel instigating a Street Fighter-style match on the top of a biplane made of boxers with you, it makes it that much more memorable and enjoyable. I played through It Takes Two with my friend Matt, and we had an absolute blast. I'll never forget our reaction when the game switched to a Diablo-style dungeon crawler where we spent the next 15 minutes slinging ice spells and fire dashing across gaps. It was beautiful. But there's more value to having a co-op partner than just having someone to enjoy the set pieces with. It's about having someone there to help shoulder the burden of responsibility and bring their own problem-solving skills to the table, so you have the best chance possible to overcome the game's challenges. One of the biggest benefits of collaboration is that by teaming up with someone, you can significantly increase the creativity and problem-solving ability you have at your disposal. That's because each of you brings a different point of view on how to overcome challenges based on your unique backgrounds, experiences, and values. This means that you and your co-op partner may be presented with the same challenge, but your approaches to overcome it can differ based on your personal experiences or point of view. Having these different perspectives allows you to broaden the scope of potential solutions when trying to overcome challenges, or at the very least, helps you see the problem from another angle, because two heads are better than one. What I love about It Takes Two is that it literally gives you and your co-op partner two distinct points of view by splitting the screen in half and situating May and Cody on opposite sides of puzzles, giving each player a unique perspective of the problem and thus a unique view of possible solutions. Even though my body has been trained since the GoldenEye days not to look at someone else's square while playing in split screen, It Takes Two is the exception to that rule, because being able to actually see your co-op partner's point of view allows you to see the differences between your points of view and helps you understand why they are suggesting the solutions they are. And once you're seeing eye to eye, you can start leveraging each person's unique skill set to make collaboration even more valuable. In each of the main levels, May and Cody are equipped with a set of complementary skills for their problem-solving needs. Think of May's hammerhead and Cody's nails in the shed level, or the positive and negative halves of the magnet they use in the snow globe level. Each of these skills is effective on their own, but when paired together through collaboration, they allow you to solve problems more effectively, and in some situations, solve problems that couldn't have been overcome in any other way. For example, by throwing Cody's nails into specific spots, it allows May to use her hammerhead to launch herself over unjumpable gaps, something that could not have been accomplished without leveraging both their skills together. The value of collaboration comes from embracing each other's unique points of view and leveraging your diverse skills and expertise to implement creative and effective solutions that could not be done alone. However, that value doesn't come without work, and there's only one way to get there: through
collaboration. Blah, 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 blah.
Look, I get it, Cody. We've been talking a lot about the value of collaboration. So what I'm choosing to take away from your not-so-snarky comment is that you want me to switch it up and talk about what it takes to actually collaborate with someone, right? At the end of the day, the core of collaboration comes down to trust. Without some level of trust, collaboration cannot exist. It doesn't matter how great your ideas are or how unique your perspective is if you don't trust each other enough to put them into action. Sure, you can still work together, but we've all worked with someone that we don't trust, and that leads to nothing but conflict and frustration, not collaboration. One of the ways I've found to mitigate the likelihood of collaborating with someone I don't trust is to partner with someone I've enjoyed working with in the past. When you work with someone you already know is trustworthy, has great ideas, and brings their unique perspective to the table, it helps remove uncertainty and allows for better and more efficient collaboration. Like I said earlier, I beat It Takes Two with my friend Matt, and we've played a lot of co-op games together, so I trust his instincts as a gamer and a problem solver. Because of that trust, I was willing to listen to him when he suggested how to solve puzzles or beat certain bosses. I didn't need to question him because I trusted in his competence and abilities. That trust led to less resistance in our problem-solving approach and even allowed us to try more uncertain approaches. And when we did fail or choose the wrong option, we supported each other through those rare misses. However, the reality of the world is that you won't always be able to collaborate with someone you have a pre-existing relationship with. So when that happens, my best piece of advice is to be a good teammate. What I mean by that is you need to demonstrate behaviors that show you're a good collaborator and someone who's worthy of being trusted. This goes for all parties involved in collaboration, but you can only control yourself. My recommended starting place for demonstrating these behaviors is to be a good communicator, which means you not only have to be willing to communicate, but you also need to listen when someone is communicating with you. When Matt and I commandeered the plane to escape the squirrels, I was placed on the turret while he was flying the plane. Since I spent the majority of my time facing backwards, trying to shoot down enemy planes, I had to rely on Matt to communicate with me when he needed my help dealing with obstacles in front of the plane. Every time he correctly communicated something that required my attention, my trust in him grew. And when I took out the obstacles that he identified, his trust grew in me too. That clear and open communication is the foundation of collaboration, because communication inspires action. Action leads to trust, and trust leads to collaboration. Communication isn't the only skill you'll need to be a good collaborator, but it's a great place to start. The other thing I need to acknowledge about collaboration is that working with others isn't always sunshine and rainbows. Those unique viewpoints and skills we talked about earlier are great, but also have the potential to cause some conflict and strife when trying to solve a problem. If you find yourself experiencing that, it's totally normal. However, it needs to be addressed constructively and with an appropriate amount of respect. That doesn't mean you can't disagree with them or provide constructive feedback. That's part of the collaboration process. But being respectful and communicating openly helps that conflict move back towards collaboration. Because if you want people to continue sharing their points of view and creative problem-solving solutions, being respectful when there's a conflict is key. When you collaborate, you're working as part of a team to solve hard problems, even in this case where it's only two people. But being able to capitalize on the wealth of ideas and skills that come from bringing smart, trustworthy people together is a wonderful thing. So if you ever find yourself doubting your ability to collaborate, I'll leave you with these wise words from Dr. Hakim.
You can do this. I believe in you. Come on.
And that's it. Which moments from It Takes Two made your jaw hit the floor or pushed your collaboration skills to the test? I clearly have a couple favorites of my own. If you liked what you saw today, I'd love for you to subscribe and come back for the next one. Until then, see you around.